All right, so here's another video of the morning. And this is a concept video, okay? Now, what we'll talk about is how you learn to play. Now, in the prior video, I was talking about internalizing that rhythm of boom, chunk, and recommending that you listen to some of the videos that were taken in Mineral, Virginia this week, and you'll see the same group of musicians slash characters. And if you'll put on headphones, very important that you hear it clearly, you'll be able to hear the authentic sound. And we were playing pretty slow, so you could even play along with us. Okay, so that's one subject. The second one is what's going on out there. Okay, now if you've been around bluegrass all your life, if you come from a family that plays bluegrass, then you've heard the songs and you've heard that rhythm, okay? So essentially what you're doing, you're matching what you're playing to that rhythm, boom, chunk, to that drive, okay? So let's say that of all beginners, let's say 20% of you have in fact heard that rhythm, you've been around the rhythm, and it's in you, okay? So what you're doing as you're playing songs, you're matching what you're playing so it lines up with the rhythm, okay? So, so that's one thing. Now, if you don't have the rhythm, then, or have heard that, that beat for many years, then it would be good for you to listen to, like, let's say, Rhonda Vincent, Alison Krauss, but if you're listening to it, like if you drive a lot, is put the CD or however you're doing it on your iPhone in the car and listen to the bass and listen to the offbeat chop and see who's doing it. And because I listened to Flatt and Scruggs when I was doing the backup series, and realized, even though I've been playing for over 50 years, I never actually listened to the rhythm. I'd always listen to Scruggs' breaks. So what you're going to hear is a bass, which is usually very simple and very clear, and you'll usually hear a very defined offbeat, okay? Okay, so that's the rhythm. Now, the way that most teachers teach is traditional way is to learn a song. So I'm going to take a 4-measure example. I'm going to play the first 4 measures of 9-pound hammer. So it goes. Okay, but let's say we do it. Okay, and going on. Now, in order to play that break, there are certain techniques that you need to have mastered, all right? So if you're playing a sport and you're playing baseball, you have to practice your accuracy of throwing, you practice your batting. You don't just, well, if you're a kid, yeah, you just go over to the playground and you just play. But if you're a professional athlete, you drill on these things. So if we're playing 9-pound hammer, and I'm going to actually do a lead in, so go. Okay, so the first, that's a lead in. Okay, so if I were going to learn that song as a beginner, I would take that intro and go, and I would set a drill up for like 5 minutes. And I would play that for 5 minutes. Then I would take the hammer-on part and I would play that. Okay, so once I've mastered these, and let's say you really wanted to get into it, so you practice this for 15 minutes a day for, let's say, 10 days. And then you practice this 15 minutes a day. Okay? Then you put the two together and you practice. And you listen to the sound and make sure that you're playing everything accurately and evenly. So all these notes need to be the same volume. Okay? And then the next part. And then. Okay. To try to make my point clear, what you would not do is get out the tab and go. You wouldn't start from the beginning and then play that over and over again, because you would have to master the technique. So one technique is just being able to play the intro in time. So one technique is getting that even. The second one, okay, you have to master that. The next technique is a hammer-on. Okay, and then we do forward and back. You have to practice that pull off. So, okay, now literally, to play that evenly, for 6 months, and I was actually working on Sitting on Top of the World. The way I would practice, I would do the beginning. And I would get it where everything was pretty much even, same amount of drive, every note clear, and I would play into the song. So I might play, if I played and one of those notes was not even, I would stay there. Okay? Then I would do the hammer-on. Then as a test, I would play all of it. Now, if I missed anything, if I have that, let's say that was, I would stop. Okay, and then I would play into the song, and as soon as the bottom fell out, as soon as I had a note that wasn't quite perfectly even with the other notes, I would stop and practice that. And then every once in a while, I'd try to play the whole song. And I'm going to play, I'm just going to play it right now and see if I can play it evenly. And then once I listen back to the video here, I'll know if I succeeded. So here we go. I missed that pull off. So I'll just play it. Now, I think I got that fairly even, but I'd have to listen back to see if there's anything I need to tighten up. So let's try it again. And once again, this is just a test. I might do this, well, of course I know the song, but I might play and divide this into parts for 6 weeks and then occasionally try to do the whole thing. So let's try it again. this was just impromptu. So hopefully this made sense and possibly gives you a little insight.